What's up, everybody? Coach Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we got blessed with a brand new State of the Agents May 2021, where the developers are not only going to talk about future agent balancing, the current state of the game, but also give us some leaks / hints about the new agent. So there's a lot to talk about in this video, so make sure you smash that like and subscribe, watch to the end, and go to the GameLeap website right now for the highest quality in-depth advanced guides that you'll find anywhere. And for those of you who have tried pro guides and skill capped, I'm sorry, because as you'll find out, they either have no content or they just repost our YouTube content. So I only point that out because we're just built different. All joking aside, we have tons of freaking content on our website, unlike our competitors. So go check it out down below right now so you don't miss out. But without further ado, let's go jump into the video. So basically we have a state of the agent. So I'm gonna read a lot of this word for word and we're gonna talk about it after I read it every single segment. So we're gonna start right off with the Viper experiment, and they said this: per the last state of the agents, Viper's recent balance was a test of a new approach where we go all in with the agents that are struggling. Now that the newest edition of Viper has been out for a while, we've had enough time to evaluate whether this first attempt worked. We're discovering that Viper's niche is more distinctively carved out across all skill bands. Now that we're seeing her play rate increase, we'll monitor to see if she's too oppressive post-nerf, as both sides are playing against her utility. Y'all should be able to appreciate and succeed within the unique play space that each agent occupies, and this approach for Viper is a nudge in that direction. That said, there are some rough edges here we may need to smooth out. Now basically what they're saying is that the Viper experiment, quote unquote, was a success, where they dramatically took an agent that wasn't that good and just like supercharged her, kept the niche or kept what she did well intact, but super buffed her. Remember we talked about Viper a long time ago where I thought that they should make it so that her toxic orb was throwable or deployable from long distances away so that she could fill that controller role. Well, Riot actually just went in the exact opposite direction. They didn't make her fill the traditional controller role. They just made what she was already good at so powerful that now it affects the meta, and they kept her identity in check, something that I didn't even foresee that they would do, but honestly, I'm happy they did. Now, of course, they overtuned it at first, and it might be still even overtuned a little bit now, but she's in a much better spot in my opinion. I like that she's actually like a completely new character. She's actually being played in the meta, and if they went the other way with her, she would just be a slightly different version of existing agents rather than a completely new entity. So honestly, I think it's a success, they think it's a success, and we're more likely to get big changes to characters that are not that good in the future, just like this. So characters that are at the bottom of the list, Breach, Yoru, freaking Brimstone, all these characters that don't have a lot of pick rate, we might see either dramatic changes or something that goes in line with what Viper or what happened to Viper. Now they actually go to talk about this themselves in their future balance segment, so I'm gonna read what they have to say about this. Quote, we're looking into releasing updates to Breach, Skye, Yoru, and Astra. Breach and Skye. The goal here is to provide Breach and Skye with more self-sufficiency. To do so, we're looking to remove their ability to dish out 3 consecutive flashes. For Breach, we're looking to balance power across his kit instead of it all sitting in his flash. Yoru, we're exploring an increase to the power within his unique play space. One of the big opportunities here is to make FAKEOUT a more impactful ability. Astra, the Galaxy Brain agent, provides a specific playstyle to the game, but we're looking to take some steps to add more counterplay to some of her play patterns that are too aggressive in coordinated play. Barring resource constraints or development hiccups, you should start to see these changes roll out around patch 3.0 and hopefully no later than patch 3.02. Now, let's back it up a little bit because they actually said some really interesting stuff that can tell us how they are going to be balancing these agents. So first off, I really love the idea of making it so that all of Breach's power level is not in his goddamn flash. But I'm getting a little bit too far ahead of myself. The fact that both Skye and Breach are going to be removing a flash, most likely they said they don't want to allow them to do 3 consecutive flashes, so it's either going to be something that like charges up over time, or there's like a longer delay, or they just don't get 3 flashes, they only get 2. I would probably like it to actually just be on a cooldown. Like, allow them to have flashes maybe throughout the round, but make them actually build it up over time so they just can't do it again and again and again. So Skye could still gather information around the map, but she's not someone that can just keep flashing over and over and over again. Maybe that's not as good, but it's probably funner to play against, and in some ways, it actually makes the character stronger throughout the course of a long round. Now, on top of that, I think that Breach could have a stronger identity by bouncing some of his other abilities, which is what they're looking into. We don't know exactly what that would mean, but I am excited that we're all not going to be permanently flashed anymore. So that's pretty nice. And of course, these characters are going to get changed or powered in other ways, which is cool. Now, Yoru, interestingly enough, they said that they want to make Fake Out a more impactful ability, essentially how you bait enemies. And maybe what would be pretty cool is, you know, something like Mirage. I'm not entirely sure. And if for those of you who don't know what that is, that's from Apex. It's like you put a clone of yourself walking forward. It's not just the steps. It's like a fully physical body just walks in a straight line, and it's not anything crazy, but it could, you know, bait enemy fire, really fake out you moving there. Maybe they make it so that the fake out going through teleporters makes the exact same sound. There's a lot of different things that they could do that would be pretty interesting. I definitely think that there's a lot of different ways that you could move Yoru to make him incredibly powerful. I have constantly pitched the idea that his footsteps could be completely silent for like a small window with a certain ability. That would be really cool to make him able to like sneak around enemy lines, but he has to do it very quickly. He has to time it perfectly. It would only last like 2 or 3 seconds maybe, but that would be really cool. But I'm interested in how they're gonna take the character, and I hope they do something along the lines of the Viper experiment. Now, last up, they did say that they're gonna be changing Astra, making it so that there is more counterplay to some of her play patterns in coordinated play. So it's probably going to be something that is top-down balance, so it's going to be affecting the pro way of playing Astra more. We're gonna have to wait and see exactly what that is, but for the majority of players, that's probably not gonna be too big of a deal. We'll have to wait and see though. Now, the moment you have been waiting for, we gotta talk about new agents, and they said this about new agents. As you saw in the latest act, there was no new agent bundled with the launch of Breeze. To reiterate, this is because we are prioritizing quality over speed. Valorant is a game on the slimmest of margins, and we want to make sure everything we put out has the level of refinement you'd expect. That said, expect a new agent for patch 3.0. This time around, we're throwing in some abilities that should feel familiar to folks who've played traditional FPS games their whole lives, but with added elements that will make those recognizable abilities unique within our roster. This is an agent whose utility can create moments where you must rely on your gunplay. Our hope is that, I don't know what this is. I'm guessing he's just saying fuck, 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 fuck over and over again. That's probably what's going on. I'm sorry, my keyboard just stopped working there. Oh well, this new agent is coming soon, and we're looking forward to see what you think when they finally say hello. And then this is the emblem that we get. So obviously this is Sombra. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, this is interesting because what makes the most sense for us to get is actually a Sentinel, because that is what we haven't had in a while, and that's the next on the chopping block for a new character. But the way that they're talking about traditional FPS and adding an ability where you rely on your gunplay, or utility creates moments where you must rely on your gunplay, that kind of sounds like a duelist. So I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they'll just have a Sentinel that has the ability to frag. That would be interesting. I'm not entirely sure what they mean, but something interesting that they do say is it's gonna feel familiar to folks who played traditional FPS games their whole lives. Now, I'm someone who has played traditional FPS games their whole lives, but I'm not entirely sure what they mean by traditional. Are they talking about military shooters? So are they talking really about games like CSGO, Modern Warfare? I mean, there's a little bit of difference between those two. Or are they talking more like Halo and Quake? I'm not entirely sure, but the thing that I think about right off the bat is like grenades, flashbangs, smoke grenades. I mean, that's like more traditional, and maybe there's something involving that. I mean, like a pop flash, like a traditional CSGO flash. Not entirely sure what we're looking at here, but it wouldn't really make sense for a flash to be on a Sentinel character. So maybe it's a duelist? I'm not entirely sure. Now, the fact that they are actually creating an agent that makes you rely on your gunplay, even though we have no idea what that is, I'm still excited because Astra was a character that took that in the freaking opposite direction, right? Astra has probably been the furthest to that Overwatch level, you know, abilities matter more than guns type character, and I'm really excited to have a character that is way more guns actually matter more. The utility all is about the gunplay, not just using the gunplay as like a side project to the abilities. So that's exciting to me. Definitely let me know what you think all of this is gonna be in the comments down below, because I'm really excited. I'm really hyped. Patch is just around the corner. The new episode's just around the corner. We'll go to the GameLeap website in the links down below for high quality independent fans guides that you will not find anywhere, made by top level players. You got to go check them out right now down below. But thank you so much for coming by. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I love your goddamn faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.